Welcome, and let me introduce you to our sitting guide, which is all about sitting in our gallery and welcoming our visitors. Our visitors are locals and people who are visitors to our township as well. So we welcome them here, and we have lots of information right at the front about everything that goes on here at Scugog Arts. And often we have brochures of other arts and culture happenings in the township. So whether it's when they come in or after you've had a conversation with them, you may want to be handing out a basic brochure about Scugog Arts, the how to become a member. There's brochures about individual shows, Lake Scugog Studio Tour, Culture Days, Small Town Big, the Barn Tour, literary contests, Theater on the Ridge. We've got things about the G-Moms. And if there's any kind of arts and culture event going on and we have a write-up about it, we'll have it here. So let's go figure out the guide. So if you're watching this video, you've probably already been given a key. So if you're a regular volunteer, if you're a staff member, you've got a key. So you've got it in hand, and this is just a straight old deadbolt. So the first thing you're going to do in entering is unlock the door with the key and open it and go in and go directly to the alarm system keypad. It's always a good idea before you enter the space to think about your 4-digit code. It's the one that you chose for the system. So you just walk straight over to the keypad right here on the wall, and you'll see that it looks like a keypad with the numbers on it. You enter the 4 digits of your code, and the alarm system will automatically then turn off. If you make a mistake while you're entering it, your hand slips, you hit the wrong number, it'll tell you that's not a valid code and you have another chance. So take a deep breath, you have a few seconds, enter the correct 4-digit code. If you've really entered the wrong code and you can't come up with what your code is or the correct code, you will get a call from the alarm system. Please stay in the building. Please answer the phone. They are going to ask you for the name of our business. They are going to ask you for another code. You've been told that code. You've been shown where that code is, and then you tell them that code. But most people just manage to get their 4 digits in and turn off the alarm system. Okay, when you came in and you turned off the alarm, the very first thing you're going to do is turn on the lights. The light switch is right here. And you've got the 2 main doors. The door you came in at the back, which is the only one that we use in the winter time. And in the summertime, we've got the big garage door, which we open up. And you've been shown how to open up that garage door in person. There are a few tricks to it, and so don't forget to open that door. And I'm going to give you a few instructions about the pylons. We have pylons just inside the door, and we use them in 2 places. In the year-round, we just do a kind of an arc back here, so that people don't park here right in front of our only door, particularly in the winter time. They can be moved really easily for people to back up and offload things. That's where the 3 pylons go here. So in the summertime, this door is open, and what we do, there's a bit of a step here, so we put 2 pylons on either side of the door so that people coming out of the space are aware that there's a step down. We also put a pylon here. This gives the sight line there, and it helps for us to maintain that cars are aware as well that there's a door here. So these are really important ones. All of these pylons we take in at night, and even in the winter time, in particular, we take in the ones at the back so that the snowplow doesn't knock them over. Okay, one important step is to put our sign out. In the wintertime, like right now, it's a bit breezy, so we tuck it into the corner and that's where it stays. And it's underneath the overhang so that the rain doesn't come down on the chalk and wash it away. In the summertime, when it's not breezy, we bring the sign out here. This is the better spot for it. It's more visible for people. Okay, the next step to opening up is to check the bathroom. So do this every day when you come in. First thing you do, pop into the bathroom. There's a light switch right here. This bathroom is for both staff and, of course, customers. So it's just like at home. Under the sink is all the cleaning stuff. You can use Mr. Clean with some warm water if you like, or use the hard surface sanitizer. Get the basic surfaces done. If anybody's left dishes for you, you might want to wash them up and have them ready. And things are under the sink, garbage bags are here, and so on. So just make sure that it's got toilet paper and the paper towel is out and that things are disinfected. And then you can take the hard sanitizer and some paper towel and head around and hit the handles everywhere, light switches. Every once in a while we do the keyboard and the mouse, and give some of the other surfaces a good cleaning. You can clean surfaces like the square touchpad by spraying a little hard sanitizer on the piece of paper towel very lightly and using that on the square. Okay, so now it's time to close up. Now, during the summer, we normally have this garage door open. Right now it's closed. It's winter. But one of the things that I tell everybody to do is if you ever close the garage door, you immediately lock it. It's this lever here, this aluminum lever that slots in and out. So sometimes, even in the middle of the day in the summer, a storm might come along and you want to close the door. Make sure you lock it immediately and don't think, oh, I'll open it again later and lock it again at the end of the day. Just lock it every time you close this door. So you check this door first. This would be the first door you're going to close as you're closing up. Bring in the pylons. Go back out and get the sign. If it's quite busy on the street, you might want to leave the pylons till you've gotten the sign in. You can then, if it's summertime, we've got the chairs are all out. They're all chained up, but it's not a bad idea to go check around them, see if there's any garbage around them. See if anybody spilled anything on any of the chairs, because thankfully people use them and we encourage them to. Give them all a check and come back and inside. Give the bathroom a quick cleaning, do any of the dishes that you've used, have it in good shape for the people coming in the next day. Unless it's you and you want to do your own dishes the next day. Then the next thing you're going to do is get yourself all bundled up to go. Okay, so now the last step, you're ready to leave. If you've got a lot of things carrying with you and your car is outside, I highly recommend you go get your stuff in your car first. But if you don't, just your bag, the key, whatever. Have your key in hand and you just touch the alarm pad to wake it up, and once you've touched it, you will see that it says system is disarmed because you've had it disarmed all day. You touch it again and select arm system type. It'll ask you what alarm system you want to use. We will touch arm away. So it's bright red and it says arm away. That's what you want to do. You now have 30 seconds to leave the building. And so get yourself outside. The door must be closed when you're setting this alarm. So if there's a group of you that are leaving all at once, either ask everybody to be outside or everybody to be inside and waiting, and you all go out together. The door can't be propped open when you set this, or it won't set. You go outside the door, turn around, and lock it with the deadbolt. If you discover that you've left something back inside, wait until you hear the beeping stop, and you can then open the door again, unlock it, return to the keypad, enter your 4-digit code to turn off the alarm, pick up the thing you left behind, go back to set it and arm it away, and leave again and lock the door. Okay? So not to worry, you've got lots of time to leave, but not long enough to wander around looking for your stuff. Okay? There's 30 seconds. The last thing to do before you head out the door, turn off the lights. On Thursday nights, take out the garbage and the recycling. So the recycling bin's right here. There's a garbage under the desk, and there's a garbage in the bathroom. And in the bottom drawer in the bathroom are the green garbage bags that you can place the smaller waste paper basket garbage into. And not a bad idea to check the fridge that day and just see what horrible things have been left in there for a week and toss them out too. And replace the 2 garbage bins with the little white bag liners. On Friday mornings, don't forget to bring in the recycling bin and pop it inside. And a couple of things about, hey, you have closed up at night and you go to leave and you realize you've left something undone. If it's something like leaving our sidewalk sign out on the sidewalk, it'll probably be there the next day. Don't worry about it. It happens. Don't worry about unlocking and bringing it back in unless it's snowing. Because if it's snowing and it's going to snow all night, the snow plows are going to do the sidewalk. So you want to make sure that you've brought the sign in so we don't kill it. And the other thing to tell you about those snowy days, snowy nights, is that there's a shovel outside for you to shovel off the area at the back door. And it's kind of important even when you come in the morning, if there's a lot of snow at the back door, shovel away the snow before you even unlock the door and try to get in, because it can jam up the door. So shovel yourself out before you come in. There's our printer. It's Wi-Fi, and it's very easy for you to connect to our printer. So go ahead and do that from your personal device if you need to print something. Our computer is hooked up to print from that printer as well. The phone, if the phone rings, answer it. You can just say, hi, Scugog Arts, and your name, and see what people are asking. Probably the answers are here in the book if you don't already know what's going on. And if you need to take a message, we have a notebook, and we prefer that you take messages and put them into the notebook rather than on lots of little scraps of paper all over the place, okay? So one of the other things to do here is to check for messages. You will see a red light on this phone if there is a message on the phone. So to pick up messages, it's just like any other phone system, but a couple of things have been automated. If there is the red light on, pick up the receiver and touch the number 1 and just hold it for a couple of seconds, and then and listen to the directions. It will tell you have 1 message or 2 messages or whatever it is, and it'll tell you once you've listened to the message, if there's something you need to do or you've taken a note, you can take a note in the notebook that's here. and you can delete the message while you're listening to it if you're able to take the notes. And delete is 7, just like on any other phone. So make sure you pick up those messages. Those are the kinds of things that you don't want to discover at the end of the day that somebody was calling you earlier. There is music available on the computer. So you just need to turn the computer on and we'll go through that. But it's very easy to find the CBC Music tab in any browser you want to use that's on the computer. And the speakers are quite good on this computer. You can manage the volume and have any music that you want. The thing about the temperature and the electricity in this space is that it is completely on the Cycle Life side and it's in their basement. So we only go and ask them for help with the temperature if it's very cold in here, or if we can tell that they've inadvertently turned off the fan that circulates heat or circulates air conditioning. We don't ask them to change the temperature unless it's really, really cold over here. So if you come in one day and it's freezing cold with the air conditioning, believe me, by the time you've had the door open for a short while, it won't be. Just bear with it. Don't ask them to change it because they'll turn it off and then 3 hours later you'll be boiling hot and you have to go back over and ask them to turn it back on. So just leave it alone if you possibly can. The other thing to be cognizant of is because all the breaker panels are over at Cycle Life, you don't want to have the coffee maker going at the same time as the kettle. It will flip the breaker and it just pops it a little bit, turns off the electricity. You won't have coffee, you won't have tea, you won't have a refrigerator. And what if they're closed? Because sometimes they're closed when you're here. Sundays, they're often closed, that kind of thing. So just make sure you don't have the tea and the coffee on at the same time. That's the only tricky part. Everything else electrical wise is in good shape. The computers and everything here, we have no problem with what's plugged in here. Okay, we have a master notebook for this space that is for taking messages, or somebody comes in and you can't help them. And so it's almost full, so the next one might look different. But basically the idea is if somebody's coming in and they're asking you things, or maybe you're working here and you have a little list of questions, make sure they're listed as questions, and so that somebody coming along knows what to do. Because if you just take a note that says somebody's name and their phone number, are we supposed to call them? Did you call them? What did they call about? What was the message? We can get prepared rather than just phoning them back and not knowing what it's about. And we'll check off when we've looked after something, but please leave us notes that we can read, and we will look after these things. Any questions, that kind of thing that you get from people that you can't answer and you want us to call them up, we will do that. But use this notebook, please. So this little top right-hand drawer has all the basic odds and ends of things that you need working in an office. It's got tape, it's got a pencil sharpener, it's got the chalk for our sign, it's got paper clips, staples to refill our stapler, and in this drawer we've usually got some Post-it note pads and 3-hole punch and stapler. If you want to scribble a note, there is a sheet of paper in there, rulers, that type of thing. And this drawer has our tape and that kind of thing, and a big thing of keys. And one of the keys here is to the post office box. So down at the post office on Queen Street, we have a post box there for snail mail. And we don't get a lot of snail mail. We have a key here. Sharon, our treasurer, has a key. And Sharon checks it regularly, and when Sharon's away, I go down and check it regularly. But in case I'm not here, there's where that key is. And some of the other keys on this are the locks for the chairs. So we've got the chairs. Right now it's winter, so they're chained up out front. And in the summer, we have some that are inside right now. We put them outside our back door and we chain them up and we lock them, and we have keys here in this drawer for these locks for the chairs. And numerous other old keys are here, such as keys for our filing cabinets and things like that. Hi, so you're serving customers and it turns out somebody's looking at one of the 2 jewelry cabinets. So they're under lock and key, and here in the top drawer, in our cash box, just open it up. There's 1 ring with 2 keys. There's a little key and a big key. The little key goes in the lock for the big cabinet, and the big key goes in the lock for the little cabinet. They're really easy to open. And that's where the keys belong. You go and you can unlock, take jewelry out, bring it out onto the counter, whatever you need to do, and then just lock it up when you're finished. And the keys go back in there.